Before the world knew the genius of Leonardo da Vinci, the mind behind the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper, and some of the greatest ideas ever sketched, he was simply an apprentice. A boy with paint-stained fingers and curious eyes. A boy who learned, listened, and practiced. But geniuses are not born in isolation. Someone has to light the first spark. And the man who sparked Da Vinci's fire was Andrea del Verrocchio. To understand this story, we must step into Florence during the 1460s, a city ruled by the Medici, fueled by trade, ideas, art, science, and ambition. Florence was not just a place. It was an ecosystem, a machine designed to manufacture brilliance. Painters studied geometry. Sculptors studied anatomy. Merchants discussed philosophy. And apprentices lived inside the workshops where future legends were crafted. This world was perfect for a curious young Leonardo. Leonardo was born in Vinci, the illegitimate son of a wealthy notary and a peasant woman. Being illegitimate meant no inheritance, no political position, no legal identity. But it also meant freedom. Freedom from expectations. Freedom to observe. Freedom to think. As a child, Leonardo drew everything: plants, animals, water movement, faces, birds. His father noticed his talent and brought his drawings to one of the greatest artists in Florence, Andrea del Verrocchio. Today, Verrocchio is remembered mostly for one moment. The moment he stopped painting, because Leonardo surpassed him. But that single story oversimplifies a monumental life. Verrocchio wasn't just a painter. He was a sculptor, a metalworker, an engineer, a designer, an innovator, the exact kind of multidisciplinary mind Da Vinci would later become. He designed tombs, armor, church decorations, weapons, statues, and paintings. His most famous sculpture, David, predates Michelangelo's, and once stood as the pride of Florence. Verrocchio's workshop was not just a studio. It was a Renaissance superfactory. And inside that factory, the next generation of masters was forming: Leonardo da Vinci, Sandro Botticelli, Pietro Perugino, Lorenzo di Credi. Verrocchio wasn't just an artist. He was a builder of legacies. Leonardo didn't begin by painting angels or masterpieces. He swept floors. He prepared pigments by crushing minerals into powder. He stretched canvas, polished marble, poured bronze molds. Only then came the true training: learning the language of art, perspective, anatomy, movement, light, emotion, storytelling. Verrocchio didn't merely teach technique. He taught thinking. He believed art must imitate nature, not in appearance, but in spirit. And Leonardo absorbed every lesson, like dry earth receiving rain. Then came the masterpiece, the baptism of Christ. Verrocchio began the painting. Apprentices helped with the background and minor details. Normal practice. But Leonardo was given something special. The task of painting one of the angels beside Christ. What Leonardo painted was unlike anything Florence had seen. The angel wasn't stiff or symbolic. It was alive. Soft curls of hair, delicate shadows, a gentle smile filled with emotion. The angel seemed to breathe. For the first time in Renaissance history, paint captured spirit. Legend says that when Verrocchio saw Leonardo's angel, he dropped his brush and never painted again. Truth? Historians debate it, but what matters is clear. At that moment, a master recognized the birth of someone greater. Few teachers have the humility to accept that. Even fewer have the ability to create someone who can surpass them. Verrocchio did both. Leonardo went on to redefine the world. He painted the most famous faces in history. He studied birds to invent flight machines. He dissected bodies to map human anatomy hundreds of years ahead of science. He designed bridges, weapons, hydraulic systems, and futuristic machines. But look closely. His foundations were Verrocchio's teachings: multidisciplinary curiosity, observation, precision, craftsmanship, innovation. Da Vinci did not emerge from chaos. He emerged from mentorship. History loves prodigies, but forgets the hands that shaped them. Verrocchio never created a Mona Lisa. He never engineered flying machines. He never reached the mythic status Leonardo would. But in a way, his masterpiece was not a sculpture, painting, or invention. His masterpiece was Leonardo himself. The Renaissance was not just the age of great creators, but the age of great teachers. Verrocchio reminds us of something essential. Genius doesn't appear alone. It grows in silence, in guidance, in encouragement, sometimes in the shadow of someone wiser. Leonardo changed the world, but Verrocchio gave him the tools to begin. So the next time we admire the brilliance of Da Vinci, let us remember the forgotten master behind him. Because history may remember the flame, but it forgets the hand that struck the spark. Greatness is rarely born alone. Someone must teach the genius to see.